One day, he decided to get rid of his brother.
Why did you call me out to the field? Where are you taking me?
Come with me, brother. I want to show you something. It's not far. We're almost there. They walked into the field, and Cain took him to a spot where he had tied up one of his brother's sheep. Cain's expression changed suddenly, and he asked his brother, "You think you're wiser than me now, just because you seem to be everybody's favorite boy and God's chosen one? It doesn't mean you can be disrespectful to me. I have no reason to like and accept everything you do."
Oh my God! What will I tell father and mother?
Good morning, respected Father and my dear friends. We, the group number 6, presenting on the biblical story of Cain and Abel from Genesis chapter 4 verses 1 to 16, drawing especially from the theological insights of Rekha Chanatu R.A. Though the story is very short and simple, but it carries a powerful and challenging message for our life. The study focuses on Cain's three-dimensional consequence of his crime. First one, a breakdown of relationship between Cain and Abel. Second, the disruption of harmony between Cain and soil. Third, Cain's alienation from Yahweh. We already know the story of Cain and Abel, what happened to both of them. They offered the offering to God, but the offering of Abel was accepted. This creates jealousy in Cain's heart. Instead of correcting himself, Cain allows anger to grow, and finally, he kills his brother in the field. When God asks Cain, "Where is your brother?" Cain replies, "Am I my brother's keeper?" God then declares that Abel's blood cries out from the soil. This story teaches us deep lessons about human responsibility, the seriousness of sin, and the mercy of God.
Now I am just sharing about the backgrounds. This story comes immediately after the fall of Adam and Eve in Genesis chapter 3. Human beings are created from the soil, which is in Hebrew is called Adama. The word Adam means human being formed from the soil. From the beginning, there is a strong connection between human, the earth, and God, whose name is Yahweh. Cain walks directly with the soil, while Abel depends on the soil indirectly through his sheep. Both brings offering to God, and Cain brings fruits of the soil. And what happens? Abel brings the firstborn of his flock. The text does not clearly say why God accepts Abel's offerings and not Cain's. This suggests that the issue is not the offering itself, but the attitude of the person offering it. Later, Cain kills Abel in the field, as we know, and the soil that once produced food now absorbs the blood of a brother. This shows how sin affects not only people but also the creation.
After the murder, God begins a dialogue with Cain. Cain says, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" The Hebrew word used here is shomer, which means guardian or protector. Even though no written law exists, the story clearly shows that brothers are meant to care for one another. God responds by saying that Abel's blood cries out from the soil. The soil is described as opening its mouth to receive the blood, showing that injustice cannot be hidden. Cain then complains about his punishment. He is driven away from the soil, hidden from God's presence, and becomes a wanderer called Nod. Cain fears that others will kill him, but God places a mark, an oath, on Cain. This mark is not a punishment but a protection, showing that God limits violence instead of increasing it.
Is the cry of the innocent. Abel's blood crying out becomes a strong.
Always damages relationships, but God never gives up on the human person. Sin destroys harmony between human beings, the earth, and God. Yet God responds not with total destruction, but with mercy that limits violence and protects life. The article helps us understand that sin is never only private. It affects others, society, and even creation. This is why responsibility toward one another